This is a quick video on the different 80% frames that we've collected for testing in our jig. Since we had them, we thought, well, let's give our unexpert opinion on the different features and attributes of each. So here it goes. First we have the Rudius from Ares Armor with a plastic mag well. One different thing about this frame is that you have to drill the safety pin hole along with the barrel seat, hammer, and sear pin holes, and of course the rails. It's hard to see, but there is some noticeable machining swirls, but all in all it looks like a really nicely made frame. I don't know what kind of paint they use, but it scratches really easy, so you have to be careful. Okay, next up is the frame from Limited 10. It's a 2011 style 1911. The grip is from STI. Generally pretty nice looking frame. There are some machining marks here and there that aren't too bad, really. It's not as smooth as some of the other frames, but it looks like a really well-made frame. The only operations needed to complete this frame are the sear pin hole, the hammer pin hole, and of course cut the frame rails. But it looks like a fun project. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, next up is a tactical machining frame. This is a pretty nice frame. It's been cast and then machined to finish. The operations needed to complete it are the barrel seat has to be cut, the frame rails, hammer pin, sear pin holes. Castings often have some pretty rough places where they don't get machined, and this one actually all four of the frames we have from Tactical are off center by about 15 thousandths. They measure 30 thousandths different side to side back on the back area there. But it's a good frame. It's inexpensive, and people really like them. It's especially rough inside the trigger well here. If I put my trigger in there, it would definitely scratch it, and here in the back the casting didn't fill and there's some jagged edges. But all in all, nice frame. Okay, next up is the 1911 frame from Stealth Arms. It's an alloy frame. Same as the Tactical, you need to cut the barrel seat, the rails, and the hammer pin and sear pin holes. It's also needs to be trimmed a little bit there on the dust cover. It's kind of uneven, but it's an impressively well-made frame. I really like the fact that the whole thing is smooth pretty much everywhere. Inside the trigger, of course, that's the difference between a machined frame and a cast one, is that every surface is pretty smooth and you don't get these rough cast surfaces. Okay, next is a frame from 1911builders.com. It's another alloy frame. It's virtually identical to the Stealth Arms frame, so my guess, and it's just a guess, is that they're probably made by Stealth. But they're both excellent frames. I really like them, and would be very happy building with one. But given the choice, I would definitely buy it from Stealth because of their one mistake guarantee. They'll sell you another one at a significantly reduced rate, which I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's a great policy because it's really easy to make a mistake. Okay, last but certainly not least is the 1911 Builders with a checkered front strap. It's absolutely perfect. It's a little different operation on this one. The barrel seat is already cut, but you have to take some off the top there, about 18 thousandths, and you'll also have to take some off of the dust cover. Everything about this frame is really, really well done. It's been cast pretty much perfect. The only thing I don't like is the inside the trigger well. It's quite rough. You can hear it when I go across here. It's kind of like sandpaper. I don't know what you can do about that. Just part of the casting. It is smooth back here where the safety goes. It's a really, really nice frame. I thought it was probably one of the best. Okay, in conclusion, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the different materials, especially the 7000 series aluminum, which is what most of the alloy frames are made out of. As you can see from this chart I've got up, that it's a very strong material. It's nearly as strong as 1020 steel, and it's way, way stronger than the most popular aluminum, which is 6061, which hopefully nobody's making frames out of because it's very soft. But we really like the alloy frames. I mean, we like the steel ones too, but I wouldn't be afraid of using an alloy frame at all. You know, SIG makes their 226 and 229s out of it, and it's paper thin and super strong and durable. We really like them. Okay, this is a little matrix we made that lists all the frames we reviewed, and it looks like it's in the order we reviewed them. It just talks about the different qualities, the materials that are offered by the different manufacturers, the weight of each of the frames, price, whether or not it works with our jig, and the customer service ratings you have to take with a grain of salt. Stealth Arms has such a good one that the rest don't look as good as they do. And it sounds like I'm a big fan of Stealth Arms. I'm not really. They've been spamming one of my videos with ads for their products, but I gotta admit they're a really good company with a good product. That's all I'll say about that. But the other company that would have been here is KTO, but they are closing their doors. It's always sad to see someone go out of business, but after working on over 50 of their SIG frames that they made, I was not a big fan of KTO, KT Ordnance. On the last thing I've got up here is a little frame to slide fitting measuring paper that you might find useful. We were going to make a slide fitting video, haven't got around to it, but this is part of it. You can download a nicer copy with all the lines on and stuff at our website if you so desire. It's in the 1911 80% section under the, I think it's under the jigs that we sell. So that's about it. Hope it was helpful.